Repeat after me. In my hand, I hold the word of God. And through it, I have power, healing, and deliverance. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen and amen and amen. Where's my better half? I like to preach, but where's she at? All right. So we finna shut these doors. We're going to get started. Amen. There, in the text on today, let's look at Genesis chapter 50. Let's look at verses 20 and 21. I thought about today when I got the news on yesterday what had took place, and I thought about some of the conversations that Sister Marie and I had. And so this sermon may not be for you, but it's a message from her. All right. Genesis chapter 50, verse 20. But as for you, ye thought evil against me, but God meant it unto good, to bring to pass, as it is this day, to save much people alive. All right. Now therefore fear ye not. I will nourish you and your little ones. And he comforted them and spake kindly unto them. Y'all sit down. Amen. Just for a moment, I want to talk from the message entitled, I Ain't Mad at You. All right. All right. All right. Tupac style. I ain't mad at you. My brothers and sisters, they're one of the famous rappers, Tupac Shakur, recorded this song when he was released from prison 2 weeks before his death. This was one of the songs that he recorded. The music was sampled from that of the Barge record called Memories, called Dreams. And this song that he wrote, he was saying that when he got out of prison, he noticed that some things wasn't the same as when he went in. All right. He noticed that some of the people that he hung around and the things that they were doing, they wasn't doing them anymore. All right. That's why in some of his verses he says, oh, you're a Muslim now. He was speaking of how the character of the people had changed. All right. But then he got to the hook line, and the hook line would just say, but I ain't mad at you. In other words, whatever you did to better you, to make a better day for yourself, he said, I'm not mad at you. But in that same song, he also dealt with the people that mistreated him. All right. Those that had turned their back on him. Some that he fed at his own dinner table and began to go against him. And he began to tell them as well, those of you that have mistreated me down through the years, and those of you that have counted me out. In so many words, he tells them, I ain't mad at you. Right. Brothers and sisters, we all need to learn from Tupac how to deal with some folk in our lives that have did some bad stuff to us. Let me just take roll just for a moment. Is it anybody sitting out here right now that will take the blinders off and tell the truth that you've had some folk that have just mistreated you and double-crossed you? I need some real folk. And you've been toting some anger around in you for a long time. But in the words of Tupac, you need to just tell the world, I ain't mad at you. Come on, girl. Listen, that reminds me of the text that we find here that Joseph, let me peruse the text. If you really want to get the whole in-depth story, you need to go from Genesis chapter 37 to Genesis 50. But let me sum it up for you in just a few words. Joseph was that was born of Jacob, that man that they call Israel. He was born unto him. He was one of the sons of 12, and he had a sister. And the thing about it was, let me help you, is that his father loved him more than he loved his other sons. Yes. All right. He loved his son, Joseph, more than any other son because Joseph was given to him in his old age. And Joseph, he loved more. He gave Joseph a coat, I got to say this, of many colors. Yeah. Right. Theologians believe that coat was a long type of robe that they wore that stretched over their hands and down to their ankles. And his brothers got jealous of him for two reasons. Number one, they didn't have a coat like Joseph had. Number two, when you examine the coat that the father had gave him, some theologians believe it had a whole lot of colors that was displayed on the outside of the robe. To where other theologians believe that the color of the robe was purple. And if anybody know anything about colorization, it takes a lot of colors to make the color purple. And so they said that it was a coat of many colors due to the fact it took a lot of colors to make the color purple. And since we got some sorority sisters in here, purple is my color because I'm Q all the way. I just wanted to throw that out to you for free. Listen, so purple was the color. And his brothers was mad because his father had given him a coat of many colors. And number two, they was mad because by him giving him a robe represented that if anything happened to the father, that Joseph was going to take over. And you know how people is when they feel like they deserve that opportunity? You know how people is when they get jealous of you? Y'all ain't talking to me. You know how it is when you done work the job and somebody get upset because you make supervisor and they didn't? You know one thing I come to learn about people, and it's funny, most of the time the people that are congratulating you are the ones that really didn't want you to get it. I've learned that even in church. A lot of folk holler amen is because it's really knocking you upside the head. And you figure if you holler amen loud enough that it won't have any effect on you. Y'all better hear what I'm saying. I got any real folk in here just want to take the blinders off and be real with me. How many of y'all? So they're upset because of the coat, and they're upset because Daddy said he'll be next if anything happened to me. All right. Come on, Pastor. So later on, perusing through the text, later on, the Daddy says unto him, go see your brothers. Go check on your brothers and tell them, come back and tell me what they're doing. Joseph goes down and sees his brother, and the text says that the brother seen him afar off and said they began to plot on him. Right. They began to say, let's kill him. Let's kill him. We ought to kill him. I got to tell you something. Everybody that shakes your hand don't want to see you living. Amen. I know y'all ain't talking to me. Y'all don't like when I tell the truth, do you? Everybody that's hugging you don't mean they want to see you do well. And a lot of folk are just waiting on God to do something in your life that they think that you deserve some bad doing. Y'all ain't hearing me. Y'all know I'm telling the truth, ain't I? Y'all look at your neighbor, just let them know, say, hey, everybody don't want to see you do well. Some folk can't wait for the day for you to fail. Some folk can't wait for something to happen to you. And most folk feel that way is because they're jealous of what you got going on. And they get deterred about what's going on in your life. And some folk just get upset about it. Yeah. He goes down and they said they plot to kill him. The oldest brother said, nah, man, let's don't kill him. But I tell you what we're going to do. Here it is, real quick. The first thing they did to Joseph, they stripped him of his coat. Yeah. All right. You know what? People love to strip you of something that don't belong to them. That's right. People always strip you of something that they wish they had. Yep. Anytime somebody try to strip something from you, it's because they wish they had what you got. That's right. But the problem is that Joseph's coat was custom made, so couldn't none of them wear. Y'all ain't hearing what I'm saying. Some of y'all trying to strip stuff that is custom made for somebody else, and that's why when you get it, it still don't work right. Y'all ain't hearing that. That's why when you lie to get a position, it don't work well for you because it's custom made for who you going against. Now y'all ain't talking to me. That's why if you do take a other man, it don't work because that man was custom made for her. And that's why y'all ain't talking to me. That's why if you do get his lady, it don't work because she was custom made for him. And that's why it never works out. You can't have what's custom made for somebody. I wish I had some help in here. Tell somebody you can't have what's custom made. You ain't gonna put up with what other folk put up. But you got some folk that will try to strip you of everything you got. They'll try to strip you of your dignity. They'll try to strip you of your pride. They'll try to strip you of everything. They want what you got. But they ain't willing to do what you did to get what you did, get to where you are. Why'd you do what you did it to me? Listen, why? Woo! Yeah. Come on, Pastor. Folk don't want to earn their way no more sights. Everybody want microwave food, but they want it to taste like crock pot stuff. Microwave is not covered right, it'll make your food tough. The crock pot simmers and takes its time and tenderizes. Y'all ain't talking to me. It softens up what was once hard. Everybody like good seasoning, but some folk want it in microwave fashion. That's it. Come on. They stripped him of his coat. And then after they stripped him of his coat, they threw him down in a pit. They put him in a pit in the desert with no water and no food. You know, it's funny because I've learned something about people. People will try to put you in a pit. Instead of lifting you up, they'll tear you down. I know y'all quiet. I don't know. I know AC. I don't know why y'all quiet. You know I got to tell it like it is. Folk will, instead of picking you up, will tear you down. Sites, instead of planting you, they'll uproot you. They want to disconnect you from your source of living. Y'all ain't here. Anybody in here ever had some folk to put you down instead of picking you up? Anybody that tries to put you down is already beneath you anyway. Oh, y'all ain't hearing what I'm saying. Because they got to try to look up to bring you down to where they are. Y'all ain't talking to me. So anybody that tries to put you down is already beneath you. So sometimes you ain't got to say nothing to nobody. That's right. Come on, Pastor. They put him in a pit, and they put him down there in the desert, in this pit, with no water and no food. And let me show you how foul they are, to let you know that they ain't no good. After they put Joseph in the pit, you go and read it, after they put him in the pit, they got the nerve to sit on top of the pit and eat their lunch. Right. Y'all ain't hearing me. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Yeah. They got the nerve to sit on the pit after they put him down there, knowing that he would die of dehydration and starvation, knowing that sooner or later he would die. They got the nerve to sit on top of their brother and eat their lunch. All right. My Lord. Come on now. They sit there and eat while they let their brother starve. Yeah. That's family for you. I know some of y'all want to act like y'all family is good, but I got some bad folk in my family. Y'all ain't talking to me. You can't choose your family, but you can choose your friends. And I got to tell you the truth. I got some family members I don't care to deal with because some of them is just like Joseph, his brother. They will put you in a pit and sit on top of you and eat while you starve. Oh, I got any family members that know what I'm talking about? Any of y'all that have some family members that you thought that if anything go down, I can turn to you and come to learn you don't even answer my phone call. Y'all ain't hearing me. I wish I had some real folk. Take off the mask and let's just be real for a moment. Anybody in the house got some family members? Yeah, y'all ain't talking to me now. You sit there, you tell them all your business. You sit there, you running, talking to them, tell them everything. But as soon my family. I didn't choose to be in this family. I was born in this family. Oh, you nothing.
Come on, now.
Oh, you nothing.
Come on now.
They sat on top of the pit. And I got to help y'all. Listen, let me give you this for free. Go check your mailbox. I'm going to live it today. We're going to do it UPS style. They still run on Sunday. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. Some of you are in the shape you are because of your family.
Yeah.
Man, right.
Can I be real?
Yes.
Some of you are in the shape that you are
Yes.
because of your family.
All right.
And so they sat on top of the pit, ate their lunch, came up with this order and said, listen, tell you what we're going to do. I'm just summarizing it. They said, look, we're going to tell Daddy, we're going to take his coat and dip it in goat's blood.
All right.
Right.
Let Daddy think that a wild animal killed his son.
All right.
We'll take it back to him. And so text says that they took goat blood and dipped it in goat blood so it would have the stain on it.
All right.
But boy, blood is a powerful thing.
All right.
Out of all the things that you wanted to dip it in, you dipped it in blood.
All right.
And those of us know today it wasn't nothing but the blood of Jesus. Yeah, y'all ain't talking to me. That saved us, right? And we sang a song that the blood will never lose its power. The blood, there's another song that says the blood still works. There's a song that said the blood that Jesus shed for me way out on Calvary. Somebody said, I'm covered under the blood. See, they was already working for him and didn't realize it. They dipped the coat in blood.
Come on, man.
Y'all ain't here.
Come on.
Yeah.
The text says, I don't need no Bible. The text says, this is what the text says. The text says that after they dipped it in blood, they noticed that it was an Israelite that was coming from the foreign country. And they said, well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We ain't going to leave him in the pit. Let's pick him up and let's sell him.
Yeah.
See, the text says that they sold him to a foreign country.
Yes.
And they sold him for 20 pieces of silver.
Yes.
That's what the text says. They sold him for 20 pieces of silver. 20 pieces of silver was what the going rate was for a young man that was under the age of 20 years old.
All right.
And they sold him for 20 pieces of silver.
All right.
And I got to thinking, they sold him for silver. Just like they dipped his coat in blood.
Yeah. Come on.
But they sold him for silver. And when you look up silver in the Bible,
Come on now.
silver is a symbolization of atonement.
All right.
Y'all ain't hearing me.
Come on. All right.
It's a symbolization of atonement and sacrifice.
Yes.
Which simply means what they didn't realize is that they dipped him, covered him in blood, but they sacrificed him for their blood. You're going to get it in a minute. Because by the time we get to chapter 50, it's going to fall together with you. They sold him under the blood, dipped him, sold him for 20 pieces of silver, and Joseph now becomes the atonement for his family.
All right. Come on. Come on, Pastor.
You know, when you become a leader, Jojo, sometimes you got to sacrifice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Everybody ain't ready to be a leader.
Amen.
Because if you ever want to be lonely, start being successful.
That's right.
Y'all ain't talking to me. Everybody call you right now because you ain't doing nothing. But get success in your eyes and see how many folks start calling you. Get success and start doing something and see how many folk want to hang out with you. Nobody that's unsuccessful want to hang around with folk on their way to success. Y'all ain't doing that. That's what an unwise person does. But a person that is wise get on board with those that are moving somewhere to try to get somewhere. Y'all ain't talking to me. But if you ever hang around folk that are doing what you doing, and if you ain't doing nothing, because
All right. Come on. All right. Come on, Pastor.
they dipped him,
Man.
sold him 20 pieces. Phantom comes. Let me skip on ahead. I got to get out of here. Phantom comes in the land, starvation is getting ready to take place. Joseph done went through some stuff. He done got put in prison for attempted rape.
All right.
While he was in prison, a baker and a chef, he interpreted their dreams. Oh, he done been through some stuff.
Yeah.
And then he gets out and Pharaoh puts him over the government
All right.
of that land.
Yeah. All right now.
Ain't it funny how God can take today's bum
Yeah.
and make them the CEO of $1 million business?
All right. All right.
Ain't it funny how God can use those that you don't think should be used and change lives? He puts Joseph over everything, and there is starvation going on. There's a major drought that's going on in the land of Canaan. And so they got to come to where Pharaoh is to get what they got to have. But guess who they got to seek for them to get what they got to have? Now we're going somewhere. Y'all help me till I feel better. Guess who they got to see in order to get what they got to have? The same one that you done stripped in a coat. The same one that you done put in a pit. The same one that you done sold to slavery. Now in order to feed you and your family, you got to come see him again. Anybody here ever had that stuff to happen when they talk about you? Talk about you ain't nothing. And before the end of the day is over, the one that you talked about is the one you got to get. Y'all ain't helping me. That's the one God will turn you back around to go see again. So they got to see Joseph.
Yeah.
Come on, right? Let me get out of here. They got to see Joseph.
Yeah.
Down there, about chapter 50. Let me get on chapter 50. They got to get out of here. Joseph, father dies. He has his father embalmed.
Yeah.
And all that good stuff. They go bury. They mourn for the father. They go bury the father. But at the end of the text is where I want to get. Joseph's brother says to themselves, surely he going to pay us back.
All right.
Because we knew that the only thing that was keeping him off of us was our dad.
All right.
He said, surely now that dad is dead,
Yeah.
Joseph is going to pay us back.
All right, right.
He's not going to help us anymore. And so they put up a fake thing and said, Daddy said before he died that we should come to you and apologize for our wrongdoing.
Oh, yeah.
It's in the text.
All right.
Daddy said for us to tell you that we were wrong. And they bowed down to him. They bowed down to him. They talked to him. Daddy said we were wrong. And they just knew Joseph's response was going to be a negative one.
Right.
But after they bowed down and said what they had to say, Joseph says, but for you.
All right.
They're waiting to see what he's going to say. But he says, but for you.
All right.
You meant bad by me. He says, but God took that bad and used it for my good.
All right.
To save many lives.
Man.
In other words, Joseph said that if I wouldn't have went through what I went through, y'all would starve to death right now.
Yeah.
Amen.
Sometimes God gives you pain for later on sacrifice.
Yes.
Sometimes God take you through some stuff
Yes.
because he's getting you ready for where you got to be.
Yeah.
You know, songwriter said, no pain, no gain.
Come on now.
And I thought about it here as I get ready to close. Y'all know I love Andy Griffith.
Yeah. Come on.
One day, Andy and Barney was in the office.
All right.
And they were reading the mail.
Yes.
And Barney told Andy, he said, Andy, here's a letter for you.
All right.
And the letter said, I'm coming to town.
All right.
He said, and I'm going to make things straight between you and I. And Andy said, it was from a man by the name of Luke.
All right.
Barney said, Luke. Who is Luke? All Barney said, I remember who Luke was.
Yes.
Luke was the man that you shot in the filling station robbery.
All right.
And Barney said to Andy, he's coming to town to get even with you.
Yes.
He says he's coming to town to kill you.
All right.
Brothers and sisters, let me tell you, Andy got nervous.
Yes. Come on now.
AB got nervous.
Yes.
Opie got nervous.
All right.
Barney got nervous.
Yes. Come on.
Floyd and Otis got nervous.
Yes.
Because Luke was coming to town.
All right.
And let me tell you how scared Andy was. This was the first time that I seen Andy take his gun out the drawer and load up his gun.
Yeah.
Because Andy figured that Luke was coming to gun him down.
Come on now.
My brothers and sisters, the story went on and Luke comes to town.
Yes.
And when Luke get off the bus, Luke has a shotgun in his hand.
All right.
Barney them said, Andy, Luke is here.
All right.
And said Luke has a shotgun. And Luke can't use the leg that you shot him in because his leg is no good no more.
Right.
Andy goes and tells AB and Opie, y'all gone over to Clara's house and let me deal with Luke.
All right.
Luke calls Andy on the phone. Y'all help me till I feel better. Luke calls Andy on the phone and tells Andy, I'm coming to your house to set the record straight. And Luke said when he got over Andy's house, Andy was sitting there talking to Luke. And Luke told Andy, he said, Andy, you shot me and lamed me, made me lay on my back for months and months. He said, my leg ain't no more good. He said, but while I was laying there, I started to get into mathematics. And he said, because you laid me on my back, he said, now I'm a businessman and I got a chain of TV stores. And what he really was telling Andy, and Andy said, Luke, is that all you did? Is that all you come to tell me? And Luke said, no, and I came to bring you this gun. He said, because I know y'all like to hunt. Can I tell you, Louis, really what Luke was saying when he gave Andy the gun? He said, Andy, you shot me and you laid me up. You stopped my way of living. But really what he told Andy is, I'm not mad at you because of everything you done. God took my bad situation and made it good for me. And I think that's why the scripture says all things work together for those that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. Is there anybody here that feel like Luke does and tell somebody, can anybody here, I got to go, can tell your enemies, I sure want to thank you for what you done to me, because if you had not done what you done, I wouldn't be where I am right now. I'm glad that you fired me, because if you hadn't fired me, I wouldn't be where I am right now. I'm glad you left me with the children, because if you hadn't left me, I'd still be getting abused right now. I'm glad that you quit talking to me, because really you were talking about me. Is there anybody here can tell your enemy, thank you for what you done? Tell them thank you. Tell them I'm not mad at you. Is there anybody here can tell your enemy, I'm not mad at you? Is God all right? Look at him in the face. Somebody ought to tell him right now, I'm not mad at you. Go ahead on. I'm not mad at you. Tell somebody the Lord will make a way. Does anybody know he will? Does anybody know he will? Shake your neighbor's hand and we're going to get out of here. Tell your neighbor, I know somebody did bad to you. I know somebody lied on you. Tell him I know you didn't have to cry, but tell him I'm not mad at you. God will. I wish I had some help in here. God will. Oh God. well. Does anybody know him well? Say yeah. Say yeah. Oh, God, make a way. I wish I had about 20 of y'all could just wave your hand and say he made a way. And I'm not mad at you. He made a way. Go ahead on. He made a way. Go ahead on. He made a way. And even Jesus, when he was on the cross, after they had stripped him, after they had beat him, after they had wounded him, after they had nailed him, after they lifted him up, he says to the Father, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And all Jesus was saying is, I'm not mad at you. You had to do what you did, but because of what you did, I'm going where I'm going. Because when it was all over, I had him saying, oh, power in heaven and earth is in the palm of my hand. Did anybody say I'm better now? I'm wiser now. I'm stronger now. I'm better now. Tell somebody I'm better. I'm better. Ah! Yeah. Don't talk about me. It's all right. Don't say what you want to say. It's all right. Don't lie on me. I ain't mad at you. You done made a hero out of me. You done publicized me. Go ahead and talk bad about me. I ain't mad at you. And in close, I got to go. I'm done. Sister Marie said, tell everybody that she gonna miss us all. But really, she says, I'm not mad at you. Yeah. Woo. Gone with. The doors of the church is open. Somebody ought to just tell somebody, instead of trying to get even with folk, just look at them. Say, man, it's cool. I know I helped you, but you dogged me. I ain't mad at you. Because in the end, what I learned about God, God will make you watch others' success while you still in your little place. Y'all ain't hearing me. I know y'all ain't talking to me. Listen, when God elevates you, sites, nobody can do nothing but watch.
Amen.
Do you hear me?
Say that, Pastor.
Sister Sutton, when God got his hands on you,